Hiya YouTubers, this is Superman G, come back at you one more again. In this video, I'm going to instruct you on how to resolve power problems as to where your computer or your monitor will not power on. Most of the time when a device will not turn on, the cause is something simple that we may not even think about because we don't start the troubleshooting at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm going to start with troubleshooting the computer first. A common issue that people have with their computer is that when they press the power button, it does not turn on. They press the power button again, but the computer still does not turn on. This can be questionable because the day before, the computer turned on just fine with no issues. First, you want to make certain there's power coming into the computer. Check that the power cable is plugged into the power supply securely. As unbelievably as it sounds, these cables have a way of loosening from the outlets that one may not have even noticed. Unplug the power cable from the power supply, reinsert it, and check if the computer turns on. If there's still no power, check if the power supply has a manual power switch which is located next to the power cable insert outlet. This is a switch most people may miss, including experts, as it is a true power on, power off switch. The symbols on the switch are 0, which is for off, and 1, which is for on. Make certain the switch is in the 1 position. Try powering on your computer. If it still does not power on, check that the power supply cable is plugged into an outlet, whether that be a wall outlet or a power strip outlet. We sometimes will unplug things from an outlet so another device can be used in its place, and we do not reconnect the device that was originally plugged into that outlet. Try to turn on the computer. If there's still no power, make sure active power is coming from the wall outlet by plugging in another device and see if it turns on. If it does, then the outlet is good. If it doesn't, plug the power cable into another wall outlet. If the device still will not power on, try using a different power cable if you have one. Power cables do fail, and the only way to find out is to swap out the one cable for another one. After swapping out the cables, check if the computer turns on. If it still does not power on, then either the power supply or the motherboard or both may have failed and will need to be replaced. In this case, find someone or a company who has knowledge on computer repair. They can run the diagnostics to make certain which computer component needs replacing. Next, we're going to troubleshoot the monitor not powering on. If you powered on a computer and there's no picture on your monitor, press the power button. The power button could be on the front, side, or underneath the monitor. Consult your owner's manual for its location. If you keep the monitor on after you shut down your computer, it will go into sleep mode and an LED light on it will either flash or turn an amber or orange color, unless you completely power it off by pressing the power button. In that case, when you turn on the computer and do not press the power button on the monitor, it will not turn on. This is a common misstep by novices and experts. If the monitors are in sleep mode and you lose power at your location, you may have to press the power button on the monitor to turn it on. If you press the power button and still don't have a picture, check that both the power cable from the monitor and the wall are securely connected by unplugging and plugging it back in. Press the power button on the monitor to see if you get a picture. If you still do not see a picture, check for active power at the outlet by plugging another device into that outlet. If the outlet has power, swap out the power cable for another one, if you have an extra one. If you have power to the monitor but still do not see a picture, check the display cable that runs from the monitor to the computer. Shut down the computer, unplug the cable from the monitor, plug it back in, power on the computer, turn on the monitor and see if a picture shows. If you still do not see a picture, try plugging the display cable coming from the monitor into a different display port on the computer. Most modern computers have at least 2 display ports on the motherboard. an HDMI port, and display port. Make certain the monitor has both of these ports as well. Most modern monitors have both an HDMI and display port. You will also need an HDMI cable or a display cable to connect the monitor to the other port on the computer that wasn't being used. On the graphics card, if you have one, there should be several HDMI and display ports available to use. Shut down the computer and locate the cable coming from the monitor going to either the HDMI or display port on the graphics card. Unplug it from whichever port it's connected to, HDMI or display, and plug it into another port of the same connection, HDMI or display. Keep in mind that these cables are not the same and will only go into the port they were designed for and are not interchangeable. After making the connection, turn on the computer, press the power button on the monitor and see if a picture shows. If you still do not see a picture, the monitor may have to be replaced. You can take the monitor to a computer repair shop and see if they can determine if it has truly failed. By following these troubleshooting steps, you may have managed to get your computer or monitor powered on. If not, then seek a professional that can help resolve the issues you are having. I hope this helps you guys out. You all take care, be safe, and peace out.